Hello, I'm Garry McCarthy, and I am the host of a show here in Chicago called Wearing the Badge on Fox 32 streaming. And I'm really happy to announce that a friend of mine who I've met over the last year or so, Gianno Caldwell, is going to be coming to Chicago, and we're going to have a conversation, public conversation about everything that's going on. And man, I don't recall this much stuff going on, certainly in the world of law enforcement, world events, and just some of the things that are going on, whether it's closed borders, open borders, fentanyl, here in Chicago, Safety Act, political interference with policing, and limits being put on the things that we can do as police officers to make people safe. So I'm excited to announce that Gianno and I are going to be getting together in Chicago in a couple of weeks and talk about all these issues. Anybody who's seen Gianno on TV, really well informed, very articulate. I have a story that I lost my daughter to fentanyl, even though I've been a law enforcement officer for 43 years. Gianno has a story that he lost his brother to gun violence here in Chicago. So it's going to be it's always a difficult decision to talk about these things when it's that person. But by the same token, it's really important that we have these conversations and people get to hear the realities of what's going on. Right, Gianno?
Absolutely, Gary. And I'm so honored to be with you as you do this taping of Behind the Badge for Fox 32 Chicago streaming. We're going to have community leaders from across the state that join us for this free event on September 24th at Tau Chicago. You can get your tickets at caldwellinstitute.org. Again, that's caldwellinstitute.org for this free event. Gary, as you mentioned, I lost my brother June 24th, 2022 in Chicago on the South Side, and my life has been forever changed, so has my family. But I've taken my brother's tragedy and used it as a seed. And I started the Caldwell Institute for Public Safety, expressing nationally issues of public safety wherever they may lead, ensuring that we can have safety and security for all Americans. And certainly when it comes to elected officials, whether it be Chicago or elsewhere, understanding that safety and security is their number one priorities. And at this time, law and order should be their number one priority. Gary, you know the numbers, and they're definite. 75% of the murders in Chicago don't get solved. 5% of the robberies in Chicago get solved. Only 5%. So 95 of those robberies do not get solved. We are in a state of emergency, and President Donald Trump has said that he's going to send in the National Guard and other federal resources to bring law and order to Chicago. I know there's been a lot of conversation on if that is the right move or not. But I would argue that the people of Chicago are begging for some change in a positive light because the people of Chicago have expressed time and time again that Mayor Brandon Johnson has failed them. And I know this based on his polling numbers and him being the lowest polled mayor in Chicago history. People have similar sentiments when it comes to Governor J.B. Pritzker as well. And those are issues that we're going to be diving into. People know how bad it is in Chicago. They know about the violent crime. They know about the drugs that have come in. You have the very personal story about your own daughter. What they need to know is the solutions to the violence in Chicago. And that is what we're looking to share, not just me and you, but a panel of other experts as well, people who are actually in the streets taking on this crisis very seriously and directly, Gary.
Yeah, and you know the other thing that goes along with it, Gianno, is I don't recall a time in my police career, which goes all the way back to 1981, where the fear of crime is so palpable. And, I believe that's because of, well, a lot of reasons, but disorder. There's disorder. We've had riots. We have quote unquote team takeovers, which is how it's presented by the press. No, those are mob actions. There's criminality that's going on, and that causes fear. It has to be addressed. It has to be talked about. We have to talk about solutions, things that are not being done that need to happen.
100%, Gary. And that's why I'm excited to have this conversation with you because the people have been asking for solutions. They know that things are bad, but they want to know what can we do about it? And certainly, how can we ensure that our voices are heard so the elected officials that have been voted in to be the protectors of the people understand the crisis that we're in. This isn't about politics. This isn't about Donald Trump. This isn't about J.B. Pritzker and Mayor Brandon Johnson in a complete sense. This is about the people who have lost their lives over the number of years and those who are still living their losing their lives, I should say. We want to make sure that there's protection and law and order in our streets, and I think that's extraordinarily important. And again, tickets are free. You can get them at caldwellinstitute.org. And Gary, I'm so excited.
Excellent. Looking forward to it, Gianno.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it, my friend.